Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Our final contemplation. And what I've been saying to you all along is this entire series is about contemplating our death, contemplating death in general, so that we can transform our lives. But as we go through this, practice today, if you're starting to feel tender, just turn down the volume and just do yoga with me. Just allow yourself to come back to center, come back to stillness. If there's anything that feels a little bit intense, okay? So soften those knees, feel the feet root down, palms shine forward. Allow yourself to land here, landing here in this moment. Feeling into the body, connecting with the body. Feel the feet root down, palms shine forward, landing in your Tadasana, mountain pose. Feeling the strength, the stability of this pose, of this body. Letting yourself root down into this moment so that you feel stable and strong as you explore these tender subjects, this contemplation, the final contemplation in our series. And then as you're ready, inhaling those arms up, reach up, lift up, and then hands down the midline, soften the knees. So just a beautiful, easy Surya Namaskar breath. Inhaling the arms up, reaching up, and we exhale the palms together in Anjali Mudra, down the midline, into the heart. Inhaling. And exhale. Nice Ujjayi constriction in the back of the throat as you bring your hands into the heart space. And inhaling, reach up, lift up. And then side bend. Doesn't matter which direction you go. Stretching open. Inhale, lift. Go in the other direction. Inhale, lift up. Reach up, stretch up, and then exhale, dive down. Coming down into your forward fold. Soften those knees as much as you need to. Arms hang heavy, head hangs heavy. Stretching out the back body, stretching out the hamstrings, the low back. So today's contemplation is that your own body cannot help you at the time of your death. We've talked about how this whole series of contemplations, inhale, arch up, flat back, has been about letting go, right? It's like that phrase that we heard from the Buddha on Friday. Step that right leg back, nice long line. Which was, there are three things that are important in life. How well did you love? How gracefully did you live? Drop the knee down on the right side. Allow the hips to release. Set those hips back. I see that Katie has a whole bunch of people who want to come over. I love that. Okay, returning to the Buddha's words. How well did you love? How gracefully did you live? And how much did you let go? How much did you let go? Set those hips back, toes rise up, breathing into the back of the leg. Toes flexing towards the face. Just opening up the legs, thinking about letting go. Letting go. Inhale forward. Walk those hands forward. And Joan Halifax, who has been with us on this journey, helping us think about the words of Atisha, curl the back toes under, right hand comes down. Left hand onto the knee as you twist to the left. Joan writes, you've spent so much time working on your body, feeding it, watering it, exercising it, dressing and undressing it, beautifying it, enjoying and not enjoying it. Handspring the foot and stab that foot back. You may have spent hours just thinking about your body, viewing it in a mirror, evaluating its appearance, trying to make it look younger and more beautiful. And then what happens? It dies on you anyway. Oh, the height of irony, right? Tailbone rises up, head hangs heavy here, and you're down dog. Roll the head on the neck. Settle the heels down, one heel and then the other. Tailbone rises up, head relaxes down. Glide the shoulders apart. Breathing. Another breath. And then knees come down, hands under shoulders. Inhale, lift. And I've said this to you all many times, and Joan says it here as well. Since your conception and birth, this body has been your constant companion, right? That's often the phrase that I use. Our bodies have been our constant companions. Sometimes a friend, sometimes an enemy. Inhale, lift into your cow. Exhale, arch into your cat. You have experienced so much pain in it and so much pleasure. You treasure it, and maybe at times you despise it. And at the moment of death, you lose it. Walk those hands forward, curl the toes, lift the hips, walk your dog out. I mean, I do invite you here, thinking about Joan's words, think about your relationship with this body. Right? Your constant companion. Has it been your friend? Has it been your enemy? Step this right foot forward. Have you been proud of this body? Focused on how it looks? Or have you been ashamed of this body? Focused on the ways that it doesn't measure up? Breathing. Drop that knee down. Low runner's lunge. Allow the hips to relax. Roll the shoulders down and back. Breathing here. Set those hips back. And of course we should take care of this body. Whatever our relationship is, I invite you to really connect to this body with tenderness, with compassion. Exhale it back. And I think we talked just on Friday. We did. It was just on Friday, bringing those toes up, folding over this leg. About how there are powerful forces at work in our society, no matter what society you live in. These marketing forces, inhale forward, that have a vested interest in us feeling less than. Not beautiful enough, not thin enough, not dressed in the right clothes, not driving the right car, right? And then our right hand goes onto our right knee as we gently twist to the right. Because they make money when they convince us, yes, I need to buy this product to make my hair shinier. I need to join that gym in order to try to lose those extra pounds. Breathing. Another breath. And then float the hands down. And bring that right knee back, left. The hands reach forward and drop it down. Pressing the hands in. Breathe into the underarms. Another breath. So is there a way that we can connect more compassionately, more kindly? Inhale, lift into your cow. And then exhale. Curl the toes, lift the hips, down dog. To this body, our partner, our constant companion. Connecting to this body with compassion. And you might remember towards the beginning of our time together, flip that right leg back and up. Roll the right foot on the ankle. Lift that leg up if this feels good. And then step that foot forward. Coming into your Vira. You might remember that I shared with you all that I'm 51 years old. And while one of the contemplations is that our lifespan is not fixed, breathing here in our Vira 1, lifting the heart up, rooting the feet down, hips are squared forward, shoulders roll down the back, breathing. I guesstimated, let's say that I've got another 50 years in me. Things go well. I don't get hit by a beer truck. Bringing the hands clasped behind the waist. And then folding over. Feel the strength of the legs. Go slow. Firing up the right glute. If this works for you, if the clasp doesn't work for you, no worries. Arms back like airplane wings. And then inhale, lift it up. You can straighten that leg. Open up, stretch up. And then bend that leg. Again, clasp the hand behind the back. And fold forward. Rooted feet into the mat. And then lift it up. Straighten the leg. Stretch your arms up. Square the hips forward. One more time. So what I was saying is that, my average heart rate is about 60 beats a minute. So, I did the math. I did the math about a week ago, and I've forgotten I approximated how many heartbeats I have left in this lifetime. Reaching up, the front leg is straight. And then stretching the left arm forward, right arm back. Okay? Twisting ourselves open here. And then inhale, lift the legs up. I want to say it was like 26,280,000. Something like that. Heartbeats that I have left, as if it's a clock counting down. Right? Because every breath, every heartbeat shortens our lifespan, right? Hands come down, either side of the foot, and step it back. Walking your heels out. I'm glad to hear that, Mags. Mags says that I'm speaking to her soul today. Tailbone rises up in the head, hangs heavy. Gliding the shoulders apart. Another breath. And then knees come out towards the edges of the mat, toes touch, sit back. Allow yourself to melt down into your extended child. Feel the hips release down, relax down. So while this body has been our constant companion in this life, since conception, since birth, it will not continue to be our constant companion. When we die, we will say goodbye to this body. Another breath, and then come on up. We often take for granted that which we've always had, right? So think about the ways you take in this body for granted. Without judgment, without being mean to yourself or, beating yourself up. Float this left leg back and up. Again, this is why we're doing these contemplations. Stretch that left leg up. Roll the foot on the ankle. By contemplating death, we transform our lives. Right? Set the feet. And inhale, lift up. 0-1. Hips are squared forward. Now it's the left leg that's forward. Shoulders down the back. Root the feet in. Glide the left hip back, right hip forward. Feel how that shifts the pose. Lifting up. Now, if you were taking Yoga Mudra, reach the hands back and clasp your hands the other way. It's gonna feel weird. And if you're like, what does she mean the other way? Put the opposite index finger on top. For me, it's now my left is on top of my right, which means that my right pinky finger feels like it's hanging out. like, what's wrong with this picture? Breathing, and then folding over. Folding over, breathing into the strength of the legs. And inhale up, straighten that front leg. So breathing here and feeling your dependence on this body. Bending that front leg. And folding over. Again, if Yoga Mudra doesn't suit you, just have your arms be like airplane wings. Can you see how holding on to your body at the time of your dying might torment you? All of these contemplations, straighten that leg. Breathing here. And then fold forward. Bending the knee so it's right over the ankle. Folding over. Feel yourself really activating the left glute. And then inhale up. Straighten that leg. Breathing here. And then release the arms and bring the right arm forward, left arm back, twisting. It's going to feel a little bit weird. And then hands come down, either side of the foot. And step it back. Down dog. So when we bring our mind's eye to that moment right before death, think about all the things that we're letting go of. Widen the knees, touch the toes. In death, you are losing your money, your friends, your loved ones, your status, your job. Right? Breathing here in your child's pose. Maybe just a little bit of a sway back and forth. And at the moment of your death, in an instant, you will also lose your body. So this is the ultimate practice in letting go. Because when we hold on and we try to grip, when we fight, that's when our death becomes a struggle. I think all of these contemplations, the way that we're encouraging ourselves to live our lives is about experiencing a graceful death, an easeful death, where we feel ready, walking the hands up, curling the toes, lift the hips, walk your feet out. So this is letting go upon letting go upon letting go. And as human beings, that's not natural for us, right? Think about the way we live our lives, constantly acquiring, constantly striving, Breathing here into your dog. And then flip that right leg back and up if you like your three-legged dog. Otherwise, just stay in down dog. And then step it forward. Coming into Vira 1, take your time. Lift it up. Beautiful, open heart, shoulders down the back. Step off onto that right foot. Bring the left knee up into the chest. Shoulders down the back again. And then pivot. Left leg goes back as the arms go back like airplane wings. Vira 3. Keep that hip down. Left hip down. Good focused gaze. And then float it up. Bringing the knee into the chest. And then step it back. Vira 1. Lift up. Open the heart. So if you're like, I'm letting go, I'm letting go, I'm letting go, and this is just the antithesis of possibly, in all likelihood, how you've lived your life until now, right? Open it up, Virabhadrasana 2. Shoulders down the back, knees open the ankles, stretch from fingertip to fingertip. Hips are open to the long edge of the mat. Another breath. Straighten that leg and glide forward. Come on down. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Tucking that right hip underneath. So when it comes down to what we can hold on to, what stabilizes us, what centers us, is our connection. Inhale up, Virabhadrasana 2, to our essence, to our true self, Atman, or Jiva. Right? And that's what yoga is all about. Spiraling in and in and in. Hands either side of the foot, come on down. As Dana Folds counsels us, go in and in. Go in and in. Tailbone rise up and the head hangs heavy. Now your choice if you want to hang here in down dog or come into child's pose, or if you want to flow. Coming into your plank pose. Breathing into the belly. So Joan writes, can you understand how others may feel who are facing their deaths? Come on down, knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Pranam. Why there is so much fear, so much clinging to life, such anger in anticipation of giving up life. Hands under the shoulders if you're with me in this vinyasa. Inhale up, Bhujangasana, and exhale down. Can you feel compassion for yourself and for others? Right? We're letting go of everything we have ever known. Exhale down. So by spiraling in and in and in to connect to the eternal self, the essence of who we are, knowing that we'll be returning to the cosmic self. However that speaks to you from a belief standpoint, coming into your puppy dog stretch, Anahatasana. Right? So maybe you think of it as going back to God, the divine, going to heaven, reconnecting with the cosmic self, Prakriti in Sanskrit. Tailbone lifts up and hangs down, breathing. Another breath, and then we float our left leg up, so we'll do the same series on the other side. Floating up, roll the foot on the ankle. step it forward. So as we feel more and more connected to the truth of who we are beyond this body, that's what can stabilize us. Breathing here. Hips are squared forward. Open the heart. Another breath. And step off onto that left foot, bringing the right knee into the chest. Good focus gaze. As we pivot into our Vira 3. Breathing. Keep that right hip down. And then inhale, lift up. Again, bringing the right knee into the chest. And step it back. Garrison-Brook 1. Lifting it up. As the Buddha said, how well did you live? How well did you love? And how well did you let go? Open it up. Garrison-Brook 2. Stretching fingertip to fingertip. Breathing here. Shoulders down the back. Another breath. Straighten the leg and glide into your Trikonasana. Come on down. Sending compassion, sending kindness, sending gratitude into this body. Knowing that you have a finite amount of time with this body. Another breath. And float on up. Vira 2. And then hands either side of the foot. Come on down. Walk your dog out. Tailbone rises up and the head hangs down. Roll the head on the neck if you'd like. And again, your choice if you want to rest here in down dog, come into child's pose or flow. Breathing here in your plank if you're with me. So Joan Halifax writes, what is really important for you in light of this truth that we cannot hold on to this body when we die? What can you do to prepare yourself to face your death and to skillfully help others face theirs? Come on down, Ashtanga Pranam or Chaturanga. Ground the hips, hands under shoulders, Bhujangasana. What can you do to prepare? Exhale down and inhale, lift. What can you do to strengthen your awareness and your capacity to surrender to death? Inhale, lift. And exhale down. Inhale, lift. And exhale down. So Mag says she's got a not good enough syndrome going on, which I think so many of us do, right? And as I've already said, our society has a vested interest in as many of us as possible having a not good enough belief in ourselves, because that's very often how they make their money. Plug hands in. And this is the kind of thing where touch the toes, widen the knees, sit back. Let's not get into this place of being angry with the way society is or, feeling like a victim. Because that's not going to help us. Coming into your child's pose, allow yourself just to melt down. The words that Anand often uses is he says, we choose not to take part in the insanity theater. In the insanity theater. We just say, you know what? I don't want a ticket to that show. No thanks. Breathing here. Again, compassionately connecting to this body, knowing that this body will not always be with us. And doesn't it deserve our gratitude, our compassion, and our love? Another breath. And then walk those hands forward. Curl the toes, lift the hips. Settle those heels down. So maybe, taking up something that speaks to your heart. Whether it's saying to your body, I'm so grateful for you. Or, you're perfect just as you are. Whatever it is that feels like it's a balm, soothing the injuries that maybe you've unintentionally manifested upon this body. Another breath. And step that right leg forward, coming into your pigeon, your Kapotasana, beautiful open heart, shoulders down the back. Breathing here in your pigeon. Walk the hands just a squidge to the left, twisting in your pigeon, Pavita Kapotasana. And then you can walk the hands through center and walk them to the right, looking over the right shoulder, and then come through center. Beautiful open heart. And then come on down into your Pigeon Pose. The hips are squared. Keep that left hip down, hip point down. If you need to put something under the right hip, beautiful. Go ahead and do that. And if you're like, oh, my body doesn't like this, then come and do it on your back. So the right ankle goes onto the left knee. For those of you who are happy in classic pigeon, just stay in classic pigeon. But otherwise, you can easily do this on your back. Just make sure that the back part is flat, the chin is down towards the chest, and draw those knees in so you can feel that opening through the hip. You can also bring your hands through to press the shin or press the back of the leg. So finding the pose that works for you. Breathing here. Allowing yourself just to melt down. Having a nice falling out breath if this pose feels emotional to you. Inhaling deeply. And then through the mouth, sighing out the breath. Release, relax. Feeling yourself just gently softening your grip on the way things should be, on the way this body should be. Knowing that this constant companion of yours will not be with you indefinitely. Another breath. And then walk those hands up, shoulders down. Beautiful open heart. Plug the hands in, curl the toes. So Miriam says, coming into your down dog and swing the leg out. She says she's watching her father fight his death with every fiber of his being. Yeah, I hear you. And Miriam, my dad did the same thing, and it's because he wanted to live. You know, and I get that. There's obviously walking your dog out. The desire to live, the desire to stay connected with family. You know, that's what makes us human. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you get to that place where death is inevitable, that's when, you know, in order for us to have a graceful death, we need to do our best to pivot, to help people let go, let ourselves let go. Breathing here in your Kapotasana. Walking your hands a bit to the right, twist, and looking over that right shoulder. You know, and I wish that, you know, I had the foresight of being able to, you know, see into the future, because with my own father, who died close to a year ago, we're coming up on his anniversary of his passing, coming down into your pigeon, if you're doing classic pigeon. You know, if I knew when his passing would be, I would have encouraged him to live his final days differently, right? But we don't know. I mean, that's part of what makes this whole process so challenging, emotionally fraught. So if you're in a role of witnessing a loved one who is transitioning into death, you know, breathing compassion and kindness into your own emotional experience. We do the best we can. We do the best we can. Breathing into this hip. Again, nice big full inhales. And then it's falling out. Exhale. Another few breaths. Sending love, sending compassion into this body. And then walk those hands up. Beautiful open heart. And then swinging that leg around. And coming into your Baddha Konasana, your cobbler. Feet together, knees fall open. Beautiful, tall spine. There's a tendency here to get really rounded in the lumbar spine. So see what you can do. Get your chunky bits out of the way. And see what you can do to tilt the pelvic bowl forward, which will help keep the back straight. Shoulders down. Knees come open. And then you can lean to the right as you gently push the left leg down. Gently. And then go in the other direction. Breathing into the inner groin. And then coming into your wide-legged seat. Again, I always put my hands behind me and I lift up and I roll the pelvic bowl forward. And then you can reach back again and make sure that you got your glutes out of the way, which helps plug down the ischial tuberosities. Toes pull back, shining energy down the leg, out the heel, and then walk those hands forward. And this is where it can be really sweet to have blocks. Okay? So if you're feeling super tight, you might be like, Laura, I need a third block. Okay? So bringing the forehead down onto the blocks. Really pour energy down the legs. And allow this pose to unfold organically. So as you feel yourself melting down, you can change the angle of the blocks, change the position. There's all kinds of different ways that those blocks can be aligned, right? And having the third eye, ajna, land on the block if you have blocks. Breathing into the inner groin. Checking in with the lumbar spine. Make sure that you're not getting super rounded. If you are, sit up. We don't want to be compressing the lumbar spine. Breathe in. Another breath. And then walk it up. Twist so that the right hand catches the outside of the left leg and twist to the left. Walk hands through center and then twist to the right. And then if you have a strap, I invite you to grab your strap and we'll do a quick Supta Padangusthasana. I'm looking for my strap. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. So coming onto the back body. And you might remember that we've been working on the anterior pelvic tilt. And if you're like, what? I'm going to walk you through it. So bringing the leg up overhead, even if you have really open hamstrings, I invite you to grab a strap. If you're like, Laura, I don't have a strap, well, you can grab a bathrobe tie. You can grab a long sleeve t-shirt and have the torso be where the foot is, and the sleeves can be your strap arms. Okay? So draw the leg in, and then feel yourself rooting the tailbone down. This is your anterior pelvic tilt. And you'll feel that at the back waist, at the belt line, you'll get lighter. Your belt line won't be glued to the floor any longer. This is your anterior pelvic tilt. And what it does is it shifts the opening in the hamstring into the belly of the hamstring rather than at the attachment points up close to the sits bones, which is ultimately better for us from an experience standpoint. It's better for us anatomically. Breathing here. Keep just drawing that tailbone down as if you're trying to kind of root the tailbone down to the earth, and you'll feel that you'll get just a little bit of a lumbar curve. The back waist will float off the mat. Check in with the shoulders and the neck. Don't do anything weird. I always have a tendency to do weird things in this pose. I like do all kinds of like jummy things with my chin. Chin comes down to the chest. Breathe in here. Draw the leg in. And then drop the strap and extend the leg. And feel just that simple variation of Supta Padangusthasana. Feel how much longer the right leg is. Arms are soft, hands are soft, shoulders melt down, back part is flat. Chin down towards the chest. Breathe. Feel the tingling in the foot. Another breath. And then I guess we got to do the other side, right? Let's do it. Strap around the middle of the foot, or the ball of the foot. Wrapping the strap in the hand so there's not a lot of effort to hold the leg up. Straighten the leg. And as you plug the tailbone in, the leg will float away. So don't wrestle with the leg. That's fine. Feeling the back waist get lighter. Breathing, drawing the leg breathing kindness, breathing compassion, breathing love into this body. Breathing. Just letting go of all the contemplations. Just experiencing this moment, the beauty and grace of this body. Sending it love, sending it gratitude, sending it compassion. Keep growing the tailbone down. Another few breaths. And then drop the strap, extend the leg, and come on down into whatever variation of Shavasana speaks to you. And if there's one last thing that would feel really good for you before settling into Shavasana, go ahead and do it now. Whatever that might look like. And choose the Shavasana that speaks to your body, where you feel super comfortable and relaxed. Grabbing a blanket or maybe getting yourself up onto the couch or the bed. Just allow yourself to melt down. Relax down, release down. So today's poem is Go In and In by Dana. Dana writes, go in and in. Be the space between two cells, the vast, resounding silence in which spirit dwells. Be sugar dissolving on the tongue of life. Dive in and in, as deep as you can dive. Be infinite, ecstatic truth. Be love conceived and born in union. Be exactly what you seek, the beloved, singing yes, tasting yes, embracing yes, until there is only essence, the all of everything, expressing through you as you. Go in and turn away from nothing that you find. In this act, through all these contemplations of letting go of so many things in preparation for a graceful death, this is what we can hold on to. Going in and in, deeper and deeper into who we truly are, our essence, our Atman, Breathing here. And then as you're ready, bringing movement back to the body. Wiggling fingers and toes. Moving the body and the body the way the body wants to be moved. Listening to yourself, connecting to your sense of body awareness, intuition. Lovingly listening to the body. And then, with no sense of hurry, rolling over onto the right side, cradling the heart. Wrapping the arms around yourself and then carefully pressing yourself up into an easy seat. Maybe a gentle sway. Sending this body love and compassion and kindness, gratitude. And let's take a nice big inhale as we'll home out together.